Welcome back. And wow, you are really doing great. Let's just briefly recap. So you decided what your wants and needs are, you've did all your research, and you know what you're looking for. You went through many of them already, and you finally found one that's worth contacting the owner. All right. So the last thing that you do when you do get the keys is start it up. I know that sounds strange, but please listen. First thing you do is let the little inquisitive kid out, and believe me, it might seem silly, but play with every button, knob, lever. Just play around with it, okay? I always brought a CD with me so I could slip it in and listen. What does the speaker sound like, and does it work? What does the radio sound like, right? Music is really vital to me because I'm always alone. I'm a single person, and it keeps me company. It keeps me awake on long hauls. So it's important to have one with you. Now, you want to turn the key on just enough to not start it, but you want to see if the fan works. If it's blowing air, we'll worry about heat when we're taking it for a spin. But for now, we want to see the fan's working, the CD's working, all the knobs, the doors, if they're electric locks, that all works. The back seat ones too, the belt buckles and everything. You want to go inside, all around in the back seat. If it's a car with a little trunk, you want to make sure that opens. And what does it look like in that trunk, right? Is it smell bad? Is it rusting out? Is it tidy? All these things are important to you, okay? Is the spare tire, is it in the trunk? Does it look good? You touch and play with everything. You do not want to buy a secondhand vehicle and be driving down the road, stopping for a friend, and guess what? The passenger door doesn't open, doesn't unlock. You have to do it from the inside or whatever. You want to make sure everything works. Does it have the electric rear, side mirrors? Check and make sure that it does turn them and move them up and down. Power locks and lights, do they work? Flick it on and off. All those things, touch, just like a little kid with their first toy, okay? Don't be afraid to do this. And look carefully. Are there any real rips and tears now that you're in the vehicle? Was the carpet hidden by some mats? And what does it look like under those mats? Do it your due diligence, okay? Do your due diligence. If it all is working and all is in good shape, all right, then this is a very good thing. But still, do not start the car up yet. Everything is clean and tidy. The owner has taken good care of this car, and the chances of it being mechanically taken care of well is good. Now, there's no guarantees no matter what, but it is a good chance, okay? So, the next step is to ask to open the hood, okay? You want to find out how to do that with this vehicle, okay? And it's either down on the floor or right by the door or just under the dash. You pull the lever and you open up that hood. Oh, I know, this is daunting for lots of us newbies, but listen to me, and I hope to deep six the fear of not knowing anything about motors, engines, vehicles. You do not have to know, okay? You do not have to know about being a mechanic to actually open your eyes and to see, okay? You want to see what's going on under there. My father was very big on teaching me to look and see and to listen and hear. Don't have to know all of the mechanics, okay? Now, you're looking under the hood. It's not fired up yet. It's not running, okay? Are there any oil leaks on the ground underneath the car? Is there lots of fresh wet oil around the engine? You want to make sure you have a little flashlight with you. Remember I told you to have one so you can look under the car for rust? Have one now so you can look down along the engine. Now, you're not looking to be able to name anything. You're looking to see if there's leaks. Okay? Your engine is made of an upper chamber and a lower chamber. And there's a seal between them and bolts connecting them together. If that seal is gone, which is called a head gasket, then this is a very, very, very expensive fix. It can be $2,000 or more. Okay? If there's anything like that along there, you don't want anything to do with this vehicle. Now, I've had owners tell me that they spilt a little oil when they were filling the oil up. Okay? So I'm going to educate you on a few things that you need to see under the hood. Okay? This is a picture of a really very new engine. Okay? Now all these lines point to all these little orange and or yellowy caps. Okay? Now some vehicles don't have them anymore. They've had caps that had to be replaced and they're not yellow, but the caps are on everything. So you're on your coolant, on your oil, brake fluid, windshield washer, transmission oil, whatever. But it says on top of the cap what it is. This would probably be oil, right? This would probably be coolant because it's for your rad. This is probably water for your windshield washers. Probably. This is going to tell you some more information about your vehicle. Okay? That one back there, usually the transmission fluid one is way back, the very back. It's either one side or the other or halfway across the back. And it's got to be fairly close to the transmission so the stick can reach the transmission fluid. So that's usually around where it is. So you want to first look at all those lovely hoses and wires. What kind of shape are they in? It doesn't take rocket science to see that that hose is plastic and it looks good. It's not dried up and cracking. You have these little cracky lines started in them, right? So you're not looking to see what it's for. You're looking to see what kind of shape it's in. That's all you want to know, okay? If it's in good shape, it's been well taken care of, okay? It's been replaced when it needed, whatever. Okay, so you're going to do two things though. And I know this might be very foreign to you, but you're going to do two things. The first thing you're going to do is check the oil. Okay, now the oil cap will tell you what it is, oil, and it will be connected to the main section of the machine on one side or the other, or right completely on the block. Block means the engine itself, right? You want to turn that loose, lift it out, and you'll see this long dipstick. Okay? Now, all you got to do with that oil is usually quite black, dark, okay? But a really fresh oil is more on the browny black color, and it's sort of a translucent black, okay? You don't want it if it's really heavy, thick, gummy, gooey, grainy looking oil. Okay, that means they haven't changed oil for a long time and it's really stinky thick. Put it back on, leave it alone. Check the transmission oil, fluid, pardon me. So you'll go in the back and you'll look for the cap that says transmission fluid, okay? You'll twist it open and pull it out. It has a stick just like the oil does. And it should be a really nice orangey red color. Alright? If it's a nice clean orangey red color, totally awesome. But if it's black and it has this faint hint or smell of burnt, you do not want that car because that transmission's on its way out. It hasn't been maintained. I have an older vehicle, and once a year I get the transmission flushed and new seals on it. That's going to keep it running beautifully, especially for an older one. Now, you don't have to do it that often on a newer vehicle, but older needs the fluids and stuff to, flushed out, freshened up, so that that older machine and all those metal parts are running smooth like silk. Okay, if those two things are really bad, and if there is oil along halfway down on the motor itself, don't buy the car. Okay, please do not buy the car. The hoses and stuff, sometimes they're not too much, it's not too bad, but you do not want it. Now I'm going to show you a picture to compare of a very old car. Now this is a beater. Somebody's opened it up and it looks like they're going to probably rebuild it, but you're looking at dried up old rust, all those kind of things. Now this is an exaggerated example, just to get your mind triggered to just see. The fear's gone, but you see, okay, what's happening under that hood. That is what you want to do, is look and see. Okay, so we're going to go back to this one. Nope, pardon me. We're going to go down and we're going to have a quick look at a battery. Okay, now this battery is a picture of one that has problems. You have cracking on the casing, which would mean corrosion. Okay, and you have dirt, you have water. Now if water's on the battery, it's a liquid from inside the battery, and you have loose holds. These here means the battery, if this is what holds the battery snug, is loose, the battery's been jamming around for a long time, and that's why there's cracks. And look at this wire. See, it's starting to peel the wires all around, frayed and broken cables. Now, I don't know how much it costs to replace all that stuff. I know a battery can be anywhere from $50 or more. And the wiring, I have no idea. Do you? We don't want it. Unless they're willing to fix it, we don't want it. Okay? We don't want to have something that's not been taken care of. Alright? So you're going to go back up here and we're going to look at this nice one again. And there's the battery sitting right there. And look at how nice and clean and shiny it is. Of course, that's probably a brand spanking new one. But you know what? The battery that was in my 15-year-old car is looking that good, because when it was necessary, they put a new one in. Okay? So you want to see those things. And when they start adding up, just like when you did your visual, and all these little things start adding up, you're looking at lots of things when you take a whole bunch of little and put it together. There's lots of work to do then on this vehicle. Okay? Now we're going to have a look at the fan. Okay? Now you're standing in front of the car right here. So you have this grill that's protecting everything. Behind it then you have your rad, which holds your coolant and your liquids, your water. And in behind that, between the engine and the rad, is a fan. And that fan is necessary to keep things cooled off, or everything will get overheated. And you want to see if that fan is cracked or pieces missing off it, right? So you're going to go around to the car and you're going to peek around this way, and down in there you'll see the fan. And have your trusty flashlight. Now, a fan is any kind of fan. It looks just like the fan you have in your fan sitting in your house to cool things down. Okay? Are the paddles on the fan nice and clean and tidy? Or it doesn't matter if they're a bit dirty. That's no big deal. But is there cracks in it? Is there chunks missing? Okay? And then you're going to look at the fan belt. Okay, now here's a picture of a brand new fan belt and one that's being replaced. Okay, see all these long lines? Now those are what's going to go against all these things on the engine that are round to turn things, and there's a round down in the bottom that turns your fan. Now this fan belt has to have those grips right there to grab hold of that metal and turn everything. Okay, if that's starting to break away like this, then it's going to slip and things aren't going to be able to work properly. That's all you need to know. You reach down inside because the engine isn't running yet. You turn the fan over so you see underneath, and just all those nice long lines look good. Do they look good? You want to know that, okay? And that's some more things that you can do as a non-mechanic. Now, I'm not going to put you through any more paces of this, okay? But those are basic things. And if you aren't happy with what you see, all right, then move on. Move on. Now, we ladies do shopping, right? We shop for, especially us single women. I know I do. I have to buy secondhand clothes lots of times. So what are we looking for with used clothes? Make it sort of a comparison. Get that kind of same frame of mind that when you're looking for clothes, what are you looking for? Are you looking for frayed hems, missing buttons, broken zippers, fabric too wore to keep and wear, it's thinning out? Is it all pilly if it's a sweater? If your mind is open to doing that kind of thing, finding secondhand clothes, you do the same scenario when you're looking under the hood of a car, all right? When you're looking under the hood of that car. If these things are not in good shape, that person has not taken care of that vehicle. Don't waste your time or theirs. If it doesn't meet your satisfactory inspection, you are not in the position to take chances. Let me repeat that. You are not in the position to take chances. Okay? So if it looks good, if it really looks nice, then you leave the hood open, go back inside, and fire it up. Now, when you fire it up, your awareness is wide awake, okay? You keep your eye on the rear mirror when you first fire it up, and your ear on listening to the car. But your eye is on the mirror so that if you fire it up and you see black smoke coming out the back, you do not want it. It means that engine has not been taken care of with oil changes and stuff, and the engine's got problems, okay? Don't take a chance. If there's nice and clean, all is good, be aware of what happened when you hit that key, all right? Did it fire up quickly, or did it fire up? All right? And now that it's running, sit quiet, close your eyes just for a minute and listen. What do you hear? Do you hear this nice powerful engine just sitting there idling nice and peaceful? Or do you hear hissing, whirring, grinding, bumping, rubbing noises? Do you hear that? Now get out of the car and walk around and go back in front of the car and listen under the hood. Because you can't hear always what's going on under the hood from inside. And you can't hear what's going on from inside when you're under the hood. All right? Listen carefully. Do you hear anything that shouldn't be there? Do you hear bumping, whining, grinding, rubbing, hissing noises at all? Or is it a nice, quiet machine? Okay? If it is, close the hood, get back in the car. Okay? And you are ready just to do a couple things before you go for your test drive. Okay? First, you want to put it in gear and notice how nicely it goes into gear. Okay? Did you have to fight it into gear? Did it go in and not make any clunky noises? Okay? You want to test the brakes. So the first thing you do is put it into reverse or forward, depending on how it's parked, and test the brakes. You want to back up. Where I'm assuming you need to back up first because it's parked facing, or if it's facing the road, you have to back up a little, whatever. Did your foot go way down before the brakes engaged, or did they brake nicely? Does it feel safe to do so? Now, if the brakes are starting to go you'll put your foot onto the brake, and if you gotta go halfway down to the floor before it engages and you have brakes, this is not a good sign. Okay, you want the brakes nice and up. Okay, up off the floor. If you gotta go almost to the floor, those brakes are completely shot, and halfway they're halfway shot. Okay, do you want to put brakes in it? No. Walk away. My favorite word is walk away, because you're wasting your precious time finding the car that doesn't have those problems. Okay, you either want to negotiate for brakes or not, and some things I don't waste my time. I just don't. Okay, so do it forward too, do it both ways, and if everything seems really good, okay, it's time for the test drive. Video 4 will help you go through your test drive. So let's recap quickly. You decided what you want to need, you visually seen and found one using the checklist. You contacted the owner and are checking it out. Video 4 and the final video will walk you through the test drive and negotiations. Okay? Used vehicles must be carefully picked. It'll save you money, okay? That's why we're going through these steps. And this is what a mechanic would help you do. A friend who is mechanically inclined would notice all these things for you, okay? So, see you in video 4, and good luck.